What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches back with another video, and today we're doing a milk bath set, right? Which we've done on my channel before. Okay, I have plenty of milk bath videos on my channel, but I'm going to teach you guys how to make something out of nothing, okay? This client is a regular of mine, and honestly, there's certain supplies that I have not rebought or had on hand lately just because you know, people are not specifically asking for that stuff, so I haven't re-upped. So I'm going to teach you guys what to do when a client wants a specific set but you may be low on supplies, okay? Because I feel like that's a big thing that we need to go over, okay? So first things first, Tanera Hughes, you are a subscriber. You guys subscribe, notifications on so you know when's the next time I'm uploading. Follow me on Instagram and make sure you check the description for coupon codes and discounts. Okay, I have some for Archon mounts, I have some for LA Nail Reserve, Madam Glam, etc, etc. Okay, so what we're gonna need today is Milky White by Not Polish. Okay, another great one is Young Nails Core Clear, Core White. And then I'm gonna be using Young Nails Core Clear as well as Young Nails Liquid. So she was like, oh, I want to do a milk bath set. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna be honest, this is all I have, okay? These are the flowers I have. Normally I have like the flat, you know, petal type flowers, but all I have are these more leaf-like type flowers. And so instead of her being like, oh, that's okay, I don't want to do this set anymore, she was like, I'll work with what you got, which is what you should encourage clients to do. So she decided to go ahead and, hey, let's do red and black, right? And I like to add gold flakes in my milk bath sets. That's just me personally. So typically for my own self, I always do flowers and gold flakes. And so I decided, okay, this is another texture of flower and it's red. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to rip this to shreds and keep the texture to it so we have another element, right? Now, when clients are looking to do something specific and you don't have all the supplies you need, do not tell them, oh, we can't do this. Tell them, okay, it might not be exactly that, but here's what we can do. Because at the end of the day, they just want something that's along the lines of what they're looking for and something that's different than other people have had, okay? So definitely look through your supplies. You'll be surprised by what you have. So normally, right, I'll always include like different types of stems and little greenery like leaves and stuff. And she asked, do you have that? And I said, no, I don't, but I can make something out of nothing, right? So I took other types of little green flowers and I just cut them up. Well, I shredded them up really small. So that way it looks like we have some greenery, some, like I said, some leaf detailing. And then I also took some of these white flower petals and I'm gonna use those as well and take some of the stems so that way we have a more cohesive look. Okay, I know how discouraging it can be when it seems like, you know, clients have their mindset on something, but clients are just that. They are the client, they're coming to you in your chair. And so this is why I keep telling people, stop trying to buy supplies to please clients, okay? By that, you will be wasting a lot of money because look how much flowers I still have left over. Yeah, they might not be the exact flowers that someone sees in a picture or someone thinks they want, but I'm still providing the same overall look, okay? So what I do when my clients book is I have them book, do you want a plain color set, right? A basic set, or do you want something that's going to be acrylic designs and things like that, right? If you want something with acrylic designs, all I ask is that you book the correct length that you want. And once you get here, you can decide on the type of set that you have. I mean, on the type of set that falls into that category. Because to me personally, all sets take the same amount of time. I'm more worried about the length versus exactly what design it is because everything takes the same amount of time for me personally. I'm gonna get most stuff done within 2 hours or 2.5 hours depending on if it's extremely intricate, okay? So we're using Young Nails Protein Bond, of course, and we're doing it 2 times because that's what the hell Young Nails say to do. Okay, so this particular client has already had about 3 other milk bath sets. She's honestly the queen of them. I don't have any other clients that have had as much as her, and I honestly love doing these type of sets. Okay, so I am gonna just a fair warning, the actual application is gonna be sped up, and I am also including shaping that will be at normal speed. And the reason why I decided to speed up the application is because these type of sets are so tedious because placement is key. Placement is everything, and especially for this set where I don't have a lot of variety of flowers, but I want to make it look like I have the variety that's needed in this type of set. So placement is going to be extra key, okay? So you guys already know, if you need a more in-depth tutorial in how to do a milk bath set, I'll link that somewhere in this video, okay? But basically what I'm doing is I am strategically laying down these pieces so that way they're close enough that they look like, you know, pieces of flowers, but also that you can't tell exactly what kinds of flowers these are. Okay, so you can see, like I said, I have two different types of flowers essentially. I have this one that has these like more individual, I don't want to say tubular petals, but like wildflower type petals, I guess. And then I have these more leaf-like petals. Honestly, if you know the correct terms for these type of flowers, comment down below, because honestly I do not. So basically we are strategically placing a couple of those, and then we are going to be using a good amount of gold flakes in the background, so that way that can mask the emptiness in the background. Okay, so it's going to be a fine line of going overboard. We don't want the nail to be so stuffed with flowers that it kind of just looks like we threw something down, but we want it to be filled enough that when we go ahead and put the white on top, we'll be able to further mask some of the emptiness in the background. And because we don't have a lot of variety, once again, we're going to be taking advantage of all these teeny tiny pieces. So you're going to see me shred up these flowers into even smaller pieces, and like these little crumbs and stuff you see around, use them to your advantage, because that's going to further like propel the look basically. And with the little green pieces, although green does not go with the red and black, it is going to give the look of, oh wow, these are pieces of leaf, of pieces of plant. Because in a milk bath set, or at least the way I do them, and honestly, look on Instagram or Google milk bath sets, you're pretty much going to see, and I explained this in my one of my last videos, you're pretty much going to see like when people will put down a white background and then place all of these encapsulated items on top and place in clear. But the way I do it is I lay all the items first, and then I will go ahead and use white, milky white, over top. So you can see, to kind of like mask some of the harshness of the black, I will let the milky white kind of sit just a hot second, so that way some of those areas can be milkier, and it will kind of, how do I explain it? Like I said, just mask some of the darkness of the black, because red and black are so stark. Like, yeah, technically they do go together, but in a set like this, you'll often more see dainty colors and things like that. So this is why we're adding white to the mix, because white is going to give more of that sheer dainty effect. But these type of petals, right, with the red and the black, it's also going to give kind of like looking like roses. So that's another plus, I guess. So kind of back to the main topic. Like I said, the reason why you don't want to, I don't want to say you don't want to book by like, hey, what type of set does someone want, or does a client want, or hey, send me a picture, is because you will be dependent on buying particular supplies. If you're a person that only recreates pictures, you're going to be spending a lot more money on supplies. And this is why a lot of nail techs have to continuously up their prices, and they're talking about supplies is so expensive. But in reality, supplies is really not that expensive. Just a lot of nail techs don't know how or when to shop for it. You have a lot of people trying to keep up with trends instead of keeping basics on hand. So like I said, I always keep the flowers on hand. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, I got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, I apologize, you guys. So yeah, you don't want to get caught into that trap of having clients send you a picture and you go and try and hurry up and buy what you don't have before their appointment, because a lot of people are just going to, like I said, be spending a lot of money, and then also you'll be often telling clients, hey, I don't have that, and then that will discourage clients from like being excited for the appointment. So this is why I always keep the mindset of, hey babe, choose when you come, see what I got when you get here, because a lot of times clients are way more flexible than what people often think. Okay, so you can see each nail is going to be a little bit different, and like I said, I am using a lot of like fine pieces, right? Because I want to focus less on like, hey, let's have a bunch of pieces of this entire flower, as like if I had my other like petal flowers, like the 4 petal flowers, I would definitely include some that are just completely whole flowers amongst like flower pieces. But in this case, because we don't have that, and the nail won't quite look right with just these big leaf type flowers, this is what we're settling for. So this milky white is going to be really helpful because, like I said, it's there masking parts of the background. So I am making the set a little bit milkier than maybe I would normally, but it all works out and it's all going to give the effect that you want. So I've said a lot of times, like when you're dealing with foils and encapsulation and stuff, sometimes it's best not to encapsulate right away, just for the simple fact of gold foils will inevitably like be dragged down with wet acrylic if you do not put a little tiny layer of acrylic first and let it kind of dry some. So that's why you see me, whew, you guys, I feel like I'm just saying a whole bunch of shit. Okay, I'm sorry. So that's why you guys see me often when I use gold flakes, I will put a tiny layer of clear over it and move on to the next nail and then go back and encapsulate. It's going to save you a lot of time, like going back and trying to fix gold flakes that moved out of place, because once again, placement is everything. So like once this is capped, right, you can see that it's coming together and that it is actually looking pretty nice. Okay, because at first I was kind of like, dang, okay, red and black, that's what we got going. But like I said, when I decided like what flowers that I am gonna choose, because like I said, I'm pretty limited, but adding that one like wildflower, the like individual like thin petals, definitely helped. So on this one, I am going ahead laying down some more stuff on each finger. I try to add a little bit of like a pop of green in some areas. Some areas will have stems, and you know, you will have time to kind of like play around with the whole design, because the acrylic is not going to dry like right away, especially because I make it pretty wet, so we don't have that problem. So pretty much when you're working with your supplies in general, right, with designs like these, you want to like add as you go. So you didn't okay, I'm sorry. So what you saw me doing is, okay, if I'm out of one color, I'm going to add a little bit more here or there. If I need gold foil, I'm going to add it where I need it. So I'm not going to just take a bunch of each thing out. I'm going to take a little bit out at a time so I can use what's there before I add more. And this is the reason why my supplies lasts me so long. And as you can see, look at how small I cut things up and I do things. That bag of gold flakes has probably lasted me like about 2 years. So again, this is why I say the way you deal with your supplies and the way you handle it will determine how much money you're spending, because it's not the supplies itself that's expensive. It's more so how you're shopping, and are you using in excess, and if you're being like more wasteful than what you think, you know. So on this particular nail, I decided to, you know, lay the gold flakes like this, and I want each nail to look a little bit differently. That's kind of the appeal behind a milk bath set, is that like every nail does not need to look the same. It's actually better when it doesn't, because then it's like more to look at. And I think that's what's really fascinating to people, is every time you look, you might see a different type of flower, you might see a little different color or anything. This is all about layering. So once I put my base layer on, I'm going to check and see like, okay, do I want to add more gold? Do I want to add more of this? And so once I'm satisfied, I will go ahead and add that milky white. And once again, as I said, I'm mainly using the milky white in this particular set to kind of dilute the look of the black. I'm trying to soften this set so it does not just look like black and red. You see what I'm saying? So if I were to be using, like, let's say she wanted some like lighter colors, then I would probably not do it this exact same way. I would probably like lay the milkiness a little differently, but that's the beauty of it. You do whatever looks best for you and your client. Okay, so I really enjoyed doing this set. Like I said, I really love milk bath sets, and I really wanted this video to just touch on the topic of working with what you got, because sometimes you're gonna be in a crunch, sometimes you're just not gonna have it, and it's okay to let clients know, like, hey girl, I don't have that right now, hey, maybe next time. And I'm not gonna lie, she's asked me for these flowers on a couple of different occasions, multiple people have, and I've just been telling them like, hey, I don't got them yet. And part of the reason why is because although a couple people have asked here and there, I'm not seeing enough demand for me to be like, oh, let me hurry up and go buy this. Like, I was gonna buy a whole bunch of Halloween stuff and all that, and I'm glad I didn't, because a lot of people were focused on nail art more than charms, whereas last year a good amount of people were focused on charms as well. You see what I'm saying? So Bling, that's another thing. I was gonna place a huge order, but lately I've just been able to go into like Michael's and like, hey, let me just get a pack here or there to kind of suffice and make up for anyone who might want a little bit, because I have not been doing a lot of heavy extreme bling. So why would I waste my money on these big ass purchases that I can tell right now it's not, like, clients are just not getting those things at this moment in time. Like for October, bling was not heavily used. Like I have sometimes where like bling is the #1 thing, sometimes not. So you really are gonna have to get an overall clear view on your clients. And what the hell happened to the rest of this shit? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, there was more to this video, and I feel like, hold on, let me adjust some stuff. Okay, sorry, I had to go back and like stretch the video out, because for some reason when I hit fast forward it like deleted like pieces or whatever. But anyways, I was saying all that to just say you have to be able to keep up with the trends in your own chair. And by trends, I don't mean like, hey, what's trending on Instagram. I mean like, what is it that people are getting, or like what are they leaning towards for that month. And if you see people taking an interest in like bling or different things like that, like if you see you're posting for model sets and or things like that, and it's going to require a lot of bling and people are actually booking them, then okay, yeah, get the bling. Or if people are reaching out and inquiring about bling and actually booking appointments, or if you can see like, hey, people are booking appointments and they're having add-ons that are bling, great. But if you're not seeing those type of trends, do not go and buy that type of supplies, because at the end of the day you want to keep money in your pocket, and we should not unfairly charge clients based on the fact that you went out of your way to buy supplies that nobody's using and you're charging more. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not something that we want to do or focus on, because then that kind of like fucks up the industry. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, that type of stuff does, and it's making clients very wary of who they are booking, and that's going to cause, you're going to see a lot more nail techs either backing out of doing nails, or they're going to just be complaining about how they're not making enough money, because you're trying so hard to keep up with trends that people are not getting in real life. That's what it comes down to it. Okay, so it's best to kind of, you know, be a little bit more personable with the client and see what it is that they're actually booking in real life versus buying your supplies based off of what's trending on Instagram. Okay, like realistically you're gonna have a little bit of both, but a lot of the stuff that's trending on Instagram, a lot of people are not necessarily hella getting that in real life. You see what I'm saying? So that's not who you're be catering to. Like have some of that trendy stuff, like, you know, tucked off in case someone happens to want it, but people ain't hopping onto every single trend. Okay, so just relax with buying supplies, because at the end of the day, this client wanted a milk bath set. I told her, hey, I'm limited on flowers, and you know what she chose to do? Hey girl, I trust you, let me see what you got. Boom. Those are the words that you want to hear. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and shape. As you can see, the shape is already like pretty good, but it needs a little work, because I mean, this is what we're supposed to do. So I'm just making sure it's as crisp as possible, as nice looking as possible, and I took my time with capping the nail, so it's pretty smooth. But you know, I don't like skipping this step because it does make a difference, right? So I'm hoping that this video definitely helps anyone that is wondering, like, man, how do I get my costs lower? How do I make more money? How do I do this? How do I do that? Like, how do I get clients to book? The answers are there. You just kind of have to stop looking to a lot of these popular people's videos. That's the problem. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people are looking towards these like popular Instagram celebrity nail techs for how they're making so much money, and to be honest, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Okay, there's a lot of people that, although they are popular, a lot of people are not happy with the quality of work. There's a lot of people out there that they treat some people well and not the others. So what I would say is, if you are interested in finding someone's content that might can help you with some of those things, just know that sometimes the most popular person is not always giving the right advice. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay, and if you are a client, I would say, if you want to start paying less than these insane out the ass prices, look for a nail tech who maybe is not the most popular, but is educated, knows what they doing and cares about your well-being and things like that. Because to be honest, a lot of us are out here and we're way less picky about our rules, way less picky about stipulations. You know, we don't charge a whole hell of a lot, because honestly, you don't need to charge a whole hell of a lot if you're continuously getting clients. Okay, I think the problem is when people are not getting that many clients, or they don't want to work that hard, or maybe they just take a long time. They would rather just up their prices than take more clients or work on their craft, if we're being honest. So this video is obviously not to like rag on nobody or anything like that, but those last points I feel like are actually valid when it comes to this topic of, hey, use what you have, do what you can, because a lot of times those things are what stops people from having the mindset of, let me see what I have, let me help the client discover what they're looking for. So, you know, you as a nail tech should be working with your client to provide a result that they want each and every time. You know, you're not always going to have everything in stock, and that's okay. Please do not stress yourself out about having exactly the right things. And if you don't have this, a client's not going to book, because a client books based on your overall work and you as a person and a nail tech, not based on what trends you are or not a part of. Okay. And if that's how they're booking nail techs, I promise you, they're probably not necessarily getting the best experiences, unfortunately. Okay. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. I want to say I feel like this video was a shorter video, but I mean, honestly, it's still over 20 minutes, so it's really not that short of a video. I feel like this voiceover just went really, really fast. But you guys, it's November, which means I'm trying to do a video a day all the way to the end of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed this set. You guys don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Nailsbyprettyface, and of course, I will see you guys in the next one.